Okay, guys, it took me all but 5 minutes after putting my computer away and walking to my car, where it just like jumped at me the idea of what I was doing to try to fix this problem of no space at the end. It was pretty ridiculous what I was asking the program to do, and you guys probably saw it if you're sharp. So let me show you what I tried to do, and I kind of like backed out of it because it wasn't working. I'm just going to show it to you again, and we'll look at why it was such a silly idea. So what I was asking is if I'm looking at the very last character, and notice where I'm putting it, it's a terrible place to put this. I asked, well, if you're looking at the very last character, then I want to, you know, I'd like to add that character on to the word. Well, this is ridiculous because if the last character is not a space, then how is it even going to get in here, right? It needs to be a space to get in here. So this is the wrong place for this idea. I had the right idea, but it's the wrong place to do this check. And here's the idea. What you want to do is think, well, there's two ways that a word could end in this sentence. One of the ways that a word could end would be if it's a space. Okay, that triggers the end of a word. The other case, we need to put it here. It's an else if, right? The other case is if we're looking at the very last letter of the string. So string -1. Then I want to perform the end of word checks, which is basically all this stuff, but I do need to actually tack this on. I do need to add this character on and then perform the checks. And the checks are right here. Okay. So I had the right idea, just the wrong place. And I think this is going to work. So let's go ahead and see if we get, if I say like 50 or something like that. I really should get all these characters, all these words, because they're all 50 or fewer. There we go. So that's working now. I'm getting the exclamation point at the end, and it's all good. Even if I do put the space at the end, it'll still work because that other if block will catch it. So let's see if we can kind of break this in another way. What if I put a bunch of spaces at the beginning? Hey, not bad, right? I guess this isn't really an issue. It's still kind of it just works. What if I say like strings of 5 or fewer? This is a tough, okay, and problem is just too long. So yeah, this is good. I guess this algorithm is fine, right? So one thing I did add just now before I started the video was I trimmed the string. So if I take this out, pardon, if I take this out and put a bunch of spaces at the beginning, then those spaces actually count as really short words. So all of these are really teeny tiny words, right? So basically that word, the current word was is going to be, this little space, this little space is getting added on. That's where the space comes from, is that little one I appended with the current word. So there's an empty string, that's the word, and then the space gets appended on. And I don't really like the way that looks. So if we can use the trim feature. And what the trim essentially does is we say, hey, string, you are now the trimmed version of yourself. And what that's going to do, it'll take any white space before and after the string, and basically what gets put in is this. Okay, so trim is going to take care of any sort of words with spaces before or after. So this algorithm is fine, I believe. I'm thinking even if I pass, I'm trying to break it, right? I'm trying to like make it not work. If I pass in empty string, I just get nothing back, right? So I guess that's fine. If I put in like just dots, I guess I should just get some dots. If I put in dot, dot, and then a bunch of long string of dots, I should only get the first one. I think this is pretty tight. So there you go. There's the algorithm. I wish I would have thought of that in the first video so I could have made it in one video, but there you go. I hope you watch this video. It will help your grade if you watched part 1 especially. Take care, you guys. I'll see you in the morning, and happy coding. Good luck.